What's happening, everyone? Been a little bit since an update, but been still working out here on the layout. Got a couple projects done. One of them is what we're looking at right here. It's a Durango Silverton narrow gauge. It's one of their equipment haulers. I saw this photo on an narrow gauge forum and wanted to build it. So I started off. This is a Rio Grande Models kit. It's the one with the brass sides, and I think it comes with wood parts for everything else. So what I did was I took the brass sides, I added brass boxing to stiffen it up, soldered it to the sides, cut the ends here so that they slope down. I believe this is a car that the Durango and Silverton modded themselves, and then scratch built this whole end here along with the ramps. I reused the brass etchings on the side here, and then underneath here is again another tube brass section. So the whole thing's very strong, because that was my concern of building this, because I want to be able to run it on the layout, and haven't had any issues with anything coming apart yet, so that's always good. So the whole deck is made of the laser board, which is a resin impregnated paper. These are half styrene, half laser board, and glued down. The ends are actually down here. These are 3D printed that I designed and printed myself. The coupler box and all that. Most of that is a combination of styrene and of a laser board. The tractor is, I don't remember the brand. I bought it off of eBay. It was about $60, because this one actually has some metal track links, whereas the other one, they're rubber and throws it off. So what I did was I just gave it a quick little wash, and then hit it with some detailing here, or weathering here and there, and it really made this model, because this model was super shiny when it was new, so it came out much better. And you can see and then the bottom of the frame, all these supports is acrylic that I cut with the laser. The Rio Grande kit comes with the bolsters, and the sills I made, I believe those are styrene, because the sills that it came with I didn't like. I think they're wood. And then you can see the brass box for the frame, and then the frame underneath here. And then the top deck, this is a laser board, and then just strip wood. And the other part that I 3D printed for this were these little brackets right here. I don't know if it's a jacking point or what they used them for. But the coupler pockets I used, they were the Rio Grande Models coupler pockets. The trucks are the Rio Grande. But yeah, really, really happy with the way this came out. I've been running it on the layout for a couple months now. No issues with the derailing or anything, so it's come out real well. The other thing I did is, a while ago, I had bought a bunch of PBL cars when I bought the Railmaster. So this is one of the PBL cars. I've got about 5 or 6 of these kits that are still unbuilt. I haven't built many more because I don't have a lot of room to store it. So eventually my plan is to move to a bigger area or bigger house and have more of a train room. So that could be in the next couple of years, hopefully. So I'm holding off on building many of these because I don't want to just clutter the layout and then they'll get damaged having to store them and go back and forth. But these are the older PBL kits. They're the ones in the colored box. They build just the same. The only difference is the trucks have plastic wheels. But honestly, I haven't had any issues with the plastic wheel trucks. They run just fine. So that's been going good. Not much else on the SN3. The other thing I've been doing is it's just maintenance, because anytime you have a drop bridge, a lift out bridge, they never hold together. You're constantly tweaking them, what I've found. So that's why the next layout I build, if I can at all prevent it, I'm definitely not going to do any sort of lift out or drop bridge. Just too much work. So this one I had to go back in, because I had originally powered the pins that contact here. They were kind of not working so well, so I just made a power plug here and plugged it in there, and then I've had to trim a bunch off of here because of expansion. So the other thing I did was I came through here and I started doing scenery. So I added all the dirt in here, some weeds, and then ballasted the tracks going through here. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep going. I may just stop, just because if I am going to move anytime soon, it's just going to be wasted money. So we'll see. The other thing that I've been working on is I've made a controller, and this controller is for JMRI. So this is something I've been wanting to do, I don't know how long, for a long time. I've seen all the other ones that people have been making, the professional, and the TCS has theirs coming out, which is nice. And then the other one was, I can't remember the brand, but it's basically an Android phone with a wheel. The problem is the Android that they're running, it's really old. And that's something I see that just gets out of date, and then there's no support for it. So what I did was I made my own. And this is an old Motorola Android phone. And that's what I've been using for JMRI for throttles, is just around. But I don't like having just the button. I like having a knob. So this knob is actually a USB volume control meant for a computer. And I saw somebody else on the forums make one of these, and I think they just velcroed the phone and this throttle to a piece. I wanted something a little bit more permanent, so I designed and laser cut this out of 1/8 inch birch plywood. I took the wheel and then mounted it inside, and then I've been using a USB, because this the new ones that you order, they used to be micro USB, now they're USB-C, which is better. So I ordered these. They're USB to USB-C, USB-C to USB-C, and normally with phones, when you hook up like a Windows device or thumb drive, right, you need an OTG cable, and they cross the wire so that the USB, it recognizes it different. I didn't know this, but USB-C does not need an OTG if it's going to another USB-C device. So I didn't have to do that. And so basically what this does is it plugs into the phone right in here, and I've just got an opening, and the phone is just a friction fit, so if I ever need to take it out or whatever, and then it plugs into the actual wheel part over here. But the great part is that because these are both USB-Cs, I can now charge this, and that's how I charge the controller. So I don't have to take the phone out to charge it. And the only thing you need are these USB-C to USB-A, I believe is the protocol. It's just a regular USB, and then it has a USB-C. And you can get a 3-pack of these for like $6. So when you go to charge it, you just plug this in right here, charges the phone, and then when you want to use it, you just bring this cable around. Try and do this behind the camera, it's not this easy. It plugs right in, and then it immediately recognizes it. So it actually works well. It's every rotation is a click or a 1-up on the throttle. Every once in a while it'll give if you go too fast, or it'll kind of skip around, but I haven't had much issues with that. So the cost, this USB-C, the throttle is only about $25. And this was an old phone that I had laying around. I'd actually had the screen replaced, and then the screen that it got replaced with was like a cheaper quality one, and it's not as bright, so I never used it anymore after that. And this is just a cheap Motorola. I don't even know which one it is, but it's only like a $250 phone. JMRI doesn't need anything powerful to run. And then, so, another $25 for this. The cables that were on Amazon were about $7. And then just a little bit of the plywood I had. And then you can see I actually I cut out the side so you can still use the power button. And then I added this spacer here, just so that the phone would friction fit in there, and it holds well. I mean, it's not gonna come out unless you really fling it. So other than that, the other thing I did was I put an extra TV over by the 3D printer, and then added the stereo receiver and speaker over there now. But other than that, that is probably it. I've worked on some other projects for friends, but I didn't take any photos of them. But other than that, that's about it. So any questions or anything, just leave them below. Thanks.